Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over how to convert Roman numerals to their decimal equivalents. All right. But before I go into the process of conversion, let's go over the different numerals in the Roman system. The numerals in the Roman system are all different letters of the Latin alphabet. It starts with I, which has the lowest value, represents the number 1, then V is 5, X is 10, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500, and M is 1000. So M has the highest value in the Roman numeral, and that's 1000. So there are 7 numerals in the Roman system, and as we arrange them from the lowest to highest, we see that the numbers increase in alternate multiples of 5 and 2. So the first value is a 1, and then the next value in the Roman system is a 5. So 1 times 5 is a 5. But then the next one, X, is a 10. So 5 times 2 is a 10. And then the next one is a 50, which is 10 times 5, 50. But then we have 100, which represented by the symbol C. So 50 times 2 is 100. So as you see over here, the values are increasing in alternate multiples of 5 and 2. All right. Now, in the Roman numeral, it's not just an additive system, but it also supports subtraction as well as multiplication. So let me write that out. So the Roman system it supports the additive system, the additive property, as well as subtraction. And then later on we'll see that it also supports multiplication in a very rudimentary form, multiplication. But how do we know when we should be adding and when we should be subtracting? And we will deal with the multiplication part later on. All right. Now, to determine whether we should be performing addition or subtraction depends on the position of the digits, or rather the values of the digits and how they are positioned. For example, when we see this number in Roman, V followed by an I, all right, should we use addition to come up with the number this represents, or should we use subtraction? For that, we have to look at the values of each of these digits. If the digit on the left is greater than the digit on to its right, all right? So V represents the value 5. If the value on the left-hand side is greater than the value to its right, so I represents 1, then add. All right? So when do we add? We add when value of the digit to the left is greater than the value to its right. Then we add. All right, we add. So over here, V, which is on the right hand side, which is to the left, is greater than I, which is to its right. We will add. So V is 5, I is 1, so 5 plus 1 equals 6. So VI has a value of 6. If, on the other hand, we look at I followed by a V. All right. Again, look at the value of the digits and their positions. All right, so I is to the left of V, correct? And I has a value of 1, which is less than V, right? V has a value 5. All right, so if the digit to the left has a value less than the digit to its right, then you subtract. All right, we will subtract. So let me write that down again. When value of the digit to the left is less than to its right, then subtract, right? So we will perform a subtraction here. So 5 minus 1 equals 4. So IV has a value 4, whereas VI has a value of 6. All right. So now let's perform a little bit complex conversion here. So let me look at this here. CX, all right, CX, CI, and V. All right, I'm going to convert this using the process of addition or subtraction, but we will have to figure out when we have to add versus when we have to subtract. All right, and you can either progress from the right hand side to the left hand side or left hand side to the right hand side. Both should give you the same value, the same answer, same solution. However, just to be consistent, to avoid confusion, I'm going to demonstrate going from the right hand side to the left hand side. So I'm going to go this way, right? I'm going to go from the rightmost digit to the left, towards the left. So 2 digits at a time, all right? We have I and V, all right? So the extreme rightmost digit is a 5, all right? And then actually, let me just space this out a little bit, all right? So V has a value 5, all right? I has a value 1, all right? So we see that I is less than V, 1 is less than 5. So for these two, we have to subtract. What do we subtract? 5 minus 1, all right? The higher value, from the higher value, we subtract the lower value. So 5 minus 1. It's not 1 minus 5, it's 5 minus 1, all right? Then the next one is C and X. So 2 digits at a time, all right? Look at it, 2 digits at a time, 2 digits at a time. All right, so C, what is the value of C? C has a value of 100 and X has a value of 10, correct? And 10 is less than 100. So 10 is to the left of C. So left side, the value to the left is less than the value to the right. We subtract. So what do we do here? It's 100 minus 10. 100 minus 10. And use brackets, all right? You have to complete all the subtractions first. And then finally, we are left with the C on the extreme left-hand side. And that has a value of 100. All right. So now we will just go ahead and add them. All right. And do the subtraction within the bracket. So we have 100 plus 100 minus 10 is 90 plus 5 minus 5 minus 1 is a 4. That gives us 194. And that's the answer. So the decimal equivalent of CXCIV is 194. All right. So this is how you should be going about doing the conversion. Okay. Now I'm going to work on one more example and then round up the conversion process. Now this is conversion from the Roman system to the decimal system, but we also have to know how to convert a decimal value to a Roman system, and we will do that separately. Okay. Now I'm going to demonstrate one more example to convert from a Roman numeral to the decimal equivalent, a little more complex than what we worked out here. So I'm going to do it. Let's see, I'm going to write, because it's a larger number, I need more space, and I also want to have our Roman numerals available to us so we can figure out which letter or which numeral has what value in the decimal system. But let me write out the number that we want to convert. All right. So, and I'm going to space it out a little bit. So M, and then we have a D, C, followed by X, L, and I. All right, so this is a number. I just spaced it out so I can show my work. Otherwise, it's not really spaced out. These numerals are not really spaced out normally. All right, just so I can show my work while I'm doing the conversion and do the demonstration clearly and cleanly. I spaced it out a little bit. All right, now again, I'm going to proceed from the extreme right-hand side towards the left, all right? So the first, and we go 2 digits at a time, keep that in mind. So the rightmost digit is an I, which has a value of 1, and then the digit to its left has a value of 1 as well. So these two values are equal, therefore we will just go ahead and add them. We subtract only when the digit is to the left is less than the digit to its right. Okay. Then we look at L and X. So L has a value of 50. All right. L has a value of 50 and X has a value of 10. All right. So here we see that 10 is less than 50. That means the digit to the left is less than the digit to its right. So what are we going to do here? 50 minus 10. So in this case, we have to subtract. All right. Over here, it was 1 plus 1. Here we would be adding. This would be 1 plus 1. Right. Then we have a C, which is a 100. And we have a D, which is a 500. So 500 is greater than 100. D is to the left of C, and when the digit to the left is greater than the digit to its right, then we add. Correct? So we are going to do 500 plus 100. All right? And then we have M, which is a 1,000, right? M is a 1,000. And then we have another M, which is also a 1,000. All right. So now we go ahead and just add them up. So I'm going to just bring this down a little bit. So this M was 1,000. This is also plus 1,000. And then, all right, 500 plus 100. You don't need to really put brackets, but we do need to put brackets around subtraction because those have to be completed first, all right? So let's put a plus here and a plus here. So what do we end up with? This is 2,000, right? This is 2,000 plus, this is 600, 500 plus 100 is 600. 50 minus 10 is 40 plus 2, right? 1 plus 1 is a 2. So the final answer is 2,642. So MMDCXLII has a decimal equivalent value of 2642. All right, so this is how you're going to go about doing the conversion from the Roman to the decimal system using addition or subtraction, as the case may be. All right.